At 77, Lindsay Wagner finally confirms the rumors about Lee Majors. I have to admit, when I first saw that new photo of Lindsay Wagner sitting beside Lee Majors, I caught myself wondering the same thing millions of fans did. Was there finally going to be a confession? Had Steve Austin and Jaime Summers secretly loved each other all these years? The truth surprised me even more than the rumors ever could. For decades, people have searched for a hidden romance between Lindsay Wagner and Lee Majors. Honestly, I understand why. Some television couples simply look too believable. They don't seem like actors reading lines. They seem like two people carrying years of shared memories. Steve and Jaime felt exactly like that. But after hearing Lindsay reflect on those years, I realized everyone had been asking the wrong question. The biggest story wasn't whether she loved Lee Majors. It was how Lee changed her life before they'd even met. That's the part almost nobody talks about. Long before she became one of television's biggest stars, Lindsay's life was anything but glamorous. Her parents divorced while she was still a little girl. The family moved often. She struggled with dyslexia during an era when teachers rarely understood learning disabilities. Imagine trying your hardest only to have people assume you weren't trying at all. That leaves marks. Lindsay later admitted she became the funny girl. She joked. She smiled. She kept people entertained. But inside, she was carrying emotions she didn't know how to express. I always find that interesting. Sometimes the people who seem happiest are simply the ones who learn to hide pain the best. Acting wasn't originally about becoming famous. It became therapy. A family friend introduced her to acting classes while she was still young, and something unexpected happened. For the first time, she could cry, be afraid, or feel heartbroken, without admitting those feelings belonged to her. She could hide behind a character. Years later, that emotional honesty became her greatest strength on screen. Ironically, it almost never happened. When Universal offered Lindsay a guest role on The $6 Million Man, she didn't jump at the opportunity. In fact, she nearly turned it down. That shocked me. Most young actresses would have done almost anything to appear on one of television's biggest hits. Not Lindsay. She wanted serious dramatic roles. Science fiction wasn't the future she imagined. Then something happened that completely changed her mind. Not a producer, not Lee Majors, her younger sister. Randy was obsessed with the $6 Million Man. She adored Lee Majors. When Lindsay mentioned she might refuse the role, her family couldn't believe it. Her mother practically stopped the conversation right there. You cannot say no. Not because of Hollywood, because of Randy. Think about that for a second. One little sister's excitement completely redirected television history. If that conversation never happened, there might never have been Jaime Summers. I honestly love stories like that. Huge careers sometimes begin with the smallest family moments. When Lindsay finally stepped onto the set opposite Lee Majors, something unexpected happened. The chemistry wasn't forced. It simply existed. Steve Austin wasn't just protecting another guest character. He looked genuinely terrified of losing her. And Lindsay responded with warmth that made viewers believe these two people had known each other forever. Audiences couldn't separate the actors from the characters. That's where decades of rumors began. People assumed chemistry like that had to come from real life. But there has never been reliable evidence of a secret romance between them. Lee Majors was married to Farrah Fawcett during those years. Lindsay's personal life followed an entirely different path. Reality simply wasn't as dramatic as television. Oddly enough, the truth became much more meaningful. Originally, Jaime Summers wasn't supposed to stay around. She died. That was the end. Or at least, it was supposed to be. Fans refused to accept it. Letters flooded the network. People weren't asking for another episode. They were demanding that Jaime come back. That's incredible when you think about television in the 1970s. Viewers actually changed the future of a series. So producers rewrote history. Jaime survived. And before long, Lindsay Wagner wasn't just appearing on Lee Majors' show anymore. She had one of her own. This is where I think Lindsay truly separated herself. She didn't want to play what she once described as a guy in a skirt. That phrase really stayed with me. She wanted Jaime to be powerful without losing compassion, strong without becoming emotionally cold. She worked closely with producers to shape the character. Instead of creating another action hero, she helped create someone children could admire for kindness as much as courage. That's a very different kind of strength. And audiences noticed. Success arrived faster than almost anyone expected. One day she was shopping quietly.